Do you hear that? This is what self-worth actually sounds like. Let's go ahead and break it down. I'm going to give you literally the roadmap, the absolute roadmap to self-love. This is from my book. My book has been copyrighted, it's already been written, and I'm already working on getting it out there. It's all about self-love. It's called Phases to Self-Love. So I'm going to go over the first phase. The very first phase to self-love is literally awareness. Okay, it's awareness. Awareness is really the starting point because there's lots of people that are walking around the earth like the walking dead, like zombies. Ugh. There's no self awareness. They don't have a concept of self awareness. They don't journal. They don't understand that meaningful change can only happen from self awareness. The next phase to the roadmap is self care. You have to be able to take care of yourself, proper sleep, proper nutrition, relaxation, setting boundaries. Understand boundaries are a gateway, not a wall. Avoidance, you know what I'm talking about. Self care alone lacks the depth for lasting transformation without the further steps for what's to come. So understand self-care is important, but there's other steps that have to. So number two is self-care. Self-respect is the next one. Self-care, as it becomes habitual, it cultivates a deeper understanding of your worth. And self-respect is about having values, honoring them, and standing firm on your boundaries, refusing to tolerate disrespect or harm. When you start to actually have self-respect for yourself, that leads over, when you cultivate self-respect, that leads over to self-discipline. And self-discipline is about aligning your actions and your values and your goals together, even if it's uncomfortable. It's the bridge between intention and sustained growth. Most people get the word discipline very twisted because when they were a child, they heard the word, oh, I'm going to discipline you. And they heard that as a form of punishment. So the people that are stubborn about self-discipline usually argue for indulgence. They argue for mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I just want to sit on the couch. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not in the mood. So they just argue for that. Well, here's the thing. Discipline has nothing to do with being punished because it's really just a process. It's a process of aligning your actions, your goals, and your values, even if it's uncomfortable. And you got to remember, growth is discomfort. So if you push that away, I don't know what to tell you, other than maybe you should reevaluate your values and do a value audit. You can see my video on that. After you've had the self-discipline, you start getting into liking yourself. You like yourself. Do the practice of care, the practice of respect, the practice of discipline. You start to appreciate your little personality quirks, the unique traits. You start to appreciate your flaws. You genuinely start to enjoy your own company. It's essential because the natural affinity for self-compassion, having self-compassion for yourself, it's going to make it easier for you to navigate through self-criticism. And the opposite of criticism is, or the opposite of judgment, rather, is self-compassion. Criticism is not too far away. So you have to have that deeper acceptance, and liking yourself needs to move to the next level, which is loving yourself. Loving yourself is the pinnacle of it all. And guess what? The culmination of the entire journey. It incorporates the self-care, the respect, the discipline, the liking yourself as continuous practices. So it's the end point because it's the ultimate state where all of the prior steps just converge and come together. And what's important for this as well is to understand the blocks. You're going to have blocks. You have things that block you. And forgiveness could be a block. So you feel the need to punish yourself. You're unable to let go of past mistakes, let go of regrets, let go of self-judgment. I need to punish myself. I need to carry the burden of guilt. Compassion. Self-compassion does mean treating yourself with kindness during difficult times. And you have to understand patience rather than criticism and self-blame. So keep that in mind. Appreciation. Appreciation focuses on recognizing and appreciating your progress, because that's how your strengths and qualities are going to get stronger, celebrating that journey as well. It reinforces that mindset. Connection to others, having meaningful connections. This is great because it gets you away from having the superficial, nonsensical, surface bullshit relationships and having things that have actual value. And then finally, reinvention. When we look at the TV shows where they do a complete makeover to a teenager, that can absolutely shift the entire world. Those are externals, though. Those are all externals. But when you change those externals, the next thing that has to change is the internal. And what could happen is you could wind up feeling good from the outside, but you have to understand that confidence and self esteem is internal, it's intrinsic, it is not external. Having a makeover might help you, but it's up to you to navigate that internal process. So if you do a makeover, you need to take that a step further and go internal and start to cultivate the proper beliefs for that self-esteem, self-respect, and eventually self-love. And that's all I'm going to say about today. This is a short one. Have a great day. See you in the next video.